to be the real mic. Test, test, test. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we
Yay!
have audio.
Audio.
We have audio. Thank you. I want to say thank you for Red Yoda for pointing out there's no audio. So we're going to have to start this all over again. So what is up, my friends? Rob Fury here. Welcome to Stream These Studios. And I am here with the ever lovely, fantastic, talented, and lovely, yeah, that's lovely twice, Teresa Ganzel.
Hello there. Happy Memorial Day weekend.
I love how we just did this all over again. It's just like, you know what, we're doing it, and they're like, no, we're gonna do it again. So we have people in the chat that are saying hello.
Hello.
So yeah, they're in the chat right there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Got it.
Let me try to lower this over here. So there we go. Put this out of the way. All right. So we have Powerpuff Tube saying hello.
Hello.
Red Yoda saying hello. Once again, Red Yoda, thank you for letting us know about that audio. But
Thank goodness.
I was just talking about how you, literally, your career is just spans so many decades and just so great. And we're just talking about how you are on Three's Company as Greedy Gretchen, but I said it was more like Abundance Gretchen. But yes, so tell us, now that we actually have the audio on, tell us how that experience was.
It was such a great experience because I was a big fan of Three's Company. And Three's Company had already been on the air for a few years before I got the job. And it was my very first job on TV. And so to have that be, because it was a nice guest star role. You know, a lot of times people have to do a one-line part or something like that. But it was so exciting, and I was so flattered because John Ritter, the great John Ritter, I didn't tell him till the week was almost done. I said, this is my first time I've ever done anything on TV, and he was so complimentary to me and so kind. And when, you know, we shot that show in front of a live studio audience, and I was quite nervous when it was about time to shoot. And John Ritter, boy, was he a class act. He was just so kind. And then when it became Three's a Crowd. Remember that series, the
yes,
sequel?
yes,
Then
yes.
they brought my character back, so that was so nice. And over the years, I stayed in contact with John because I became friends with his wife Amy Yazbek. We did a play together, so John came back into my life, and that was just such a good memory. That show, yeah.
That was a good show. That was just all of the fun, and just you guys just looked like you had the best chemistry.
Yes, and a great chemistry, and also just the energy of the show. I mean, it was a farce. It was just a comedic farce. It was just so fun doing it, and as an audience member, like I said, I was a big fan of that show. I loved it.
And it's just like to go from in front of the TV to actually in the TV. Like,
Yes.
That had to be just.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, for college, I went to the Goodman Theater in Chicago, part of the Art Institute. It was
Okay.
very prestigious and very serious. You know, we did Shakespeare, we did all these things. And I remember one of the dean of the school, one day, I was reading a TV guide with Suzanne Summers on the cover of the TV guide. And the dean stopped me and said, "What are you reading?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, Suzanne Summers is leaving Three's Company." And I just remember, like, in that moment, I realized my career was like heading in that direction as opposed to Shakespeare.
So let me ask you, what got you into doing TV acting instead of staying in the theater?
Yeah.
Because easily there are a lot of people that just say, you know what, TV film not for me. I love the arts. I'm a thespian. I need
Yes.
to art. So it's like they stay there. What made you? Well, besides just being on Three's Company, like duh. Like, but what made you want to go that way?
Well, first of all, honestly, as a kid, I was just such a television fan. I mean, I just watched so much TV as a child. I remember when the TV guide in those days would come in the mail.
That was a big thing.
It was like a big thing.
a
Like
huge
I
thing, yeah.
couldn't wait. And then I would do the TV guide crossword puzzle. Like all of those things I loved so much. And I have to say, as years clicked by in my life, I did end up doing quite a bit. I went back and did some more theater work and feature films and everything. I have to say my very favorite medium is television. I enjoy it more than stage. I enjoy it more than film, only because to me, I love doing theater. I really, really do. But there does become that thing. If you're in a success, the repetition, the same script over and over.
Yes.
And listen, I know every audience is different. I know it's always fresh. But at the same time, I like knowing on Monday there's a new script.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do something new, something fresh.
And I love feature films. I love them. However, feature films works more slowly. Now, most actors will say to you they love the fact that they spend more time on each scene. Blah blah blah. I have a tendency to get a little antsy. Let's shoot it. Let's get it in the can. Let's move to the next scene. I love the pace of television. So believe me, I'm thrilled when I get a movie role. I'm thrilled when I'm doing a stage play. But TV is my sweet spot.
I dig it. You see, like your energy is like the way that you're talking about. I'm like, I'm about to be like, are you a fellow New Yorker? Because it's like you're just on it. Like Callie's just very like, well, like sure, I'll get it to you like in like an hour, and that hour turns into like 4 days. Bruh, I totally forgot. That's like the Cali thing, and it's like you just like, no, let's go. So I completely understand that, and you know what? With that, I need to throw it to a commercial spit.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, hi, welcome. You're here at the Streamy Stream. Right now, you can go to streamy.com/Teresa Ganzel to get some of her fantastic prints from some of her great works and have them signed here on stream. Once again, that's streamy.com/Teresa Ganzel. Back to us. So, yeah.
Good. You're good.
I honestly, I love being around new talent. And I'm like a talent myself. And just being around, like I literally, before this started, I was like, my boss told me I'm supposed to be here, and I'm moderating this signing, and I was just like, hold on, Teresa Ganzel, hold on, the toy? I'm like, I remember the toy, and I was like, when I was a kid, I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to like this movie or not, and then my mom was like, it's not racist, it's the kid wanted a companion. I was like, oh, I thought he wanted a black guy.
Listen, that's the elephant in the room. I'm glad we addressed it, that you had brought it up, because it's like,
Yeah.
wait, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's like,
And it's Jackie Gleason.
Yes.
Yeah, because I confused Jackie Gleason and Jackie Mason, and I'm like, isn't Jackie Mason like the lawyer? And I'm like, I don't remember so many different words and names, but watching that movie. Growing up, you're just like, that is cool. I want to be a kid that have a ton of money and get anything. And then I was like, hold on, is he playing a black guy? And I was just like, hold on, and then my mom's like, no, he's buying a friend, because the dad was like,
you're right.
Well, you want to go here, here's some money, or you want to go to Disneyland, you go with the maid. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he was buying a friend. Your mother is 100% right. Yeah.
And I was just like, how? Well, first, before we even go into like the stuff, because you're talking about the elephant in the room, it was more like an ant.
Yeah,
more like ants in the room,
No, it just, I guess, yeah. So somebody else brought that up to me like last week, so that's why it was on my mind. But yes.
So how right now in this political climate, one, and two, the climate that when the movie came out, like how do you think it would be perceived? Like, all right, let me break down the question, right?
Yeah.
So first, when you first filmed it, like, was that ever in anybody's mind that it may be offensive or anything like that?
I honestly, never crossed my mind. I don't think nobody's mind. I mean, that just wasn't that wasn't there. Yeah. Yeah. So I just think that now people are so super sensitive. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying, people are very sensitive. So, yeah, so I don't know what it would be like. Could you do that today? I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt you could make that movie today.
Well,
So-
I would say if we could make that movie today, people would need to listen to a Richard Pryor album first, and that will get them way super sensitive. And then this is nothing to what I just heard. Oh my goodness, he
You're
uses
smart.
the F curse so much. Oh my gosh, it's part of his vocabulary. But like, yeah.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It's so funny. It's
Yeah.
just like everything, just the climate has just been changing.
So much.
And
so
people
much.
think things like, oh my gosh, like, oh, even Red Yoda's on the chat. He's just laughing his butt off right now. Thank you, Red Yoda. That's real Yoda. I'm so
Real
sorry.
Yoda.
I'm sorry. My LASIK did not catch very well.
Did you get LASIK?
I got LASIK.
I did too. Oh man, I did it for reading glasses, so I didn't have to wear reading glasses anymore. Oh man, it worked great.
I couldn't see. I'm nearsighted, so I could see close up, but I can't see far. I only wear these glasses because they're blue light glasses, so because I look at the screen too
so
much.
much, yeah.
But LASIK, hashtag LASIK Club.
Oh
What up?
man, oh LASIK, man, it's the best. I love not having to wear reading glasses.
And you know what's the best?
Yeah.
The first print that we're going to be signing today.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag segue. So the first one we're going to be signing is number 1 right here for Brady.
For Brady.
From the toy. Ooh.
Okay.
So right here, it's just make it out to Brady. There's no special instruction.
Huh.
So-
So I could just say like to Brady with love.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And right on the front is fine too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And from Real Yoda, a question after you sign. Real Yoda, we've got you. Real Yoda, tell all your friends, your family, and your cousins that we have the beautiful Teresa Ganzel here, and you can get some of your prints signed right here live on stream at streamly.com/Teresa Ganzel.
Oh, Brady, thank you so much for asking for this. Thank you. I'm very flattered. There you go. To Brady with love.
Oh
You
my
are-
God.
Yeah. By the way, I thought you guys might find this interesting. You know the painting in the toy? That big electric painting where Jackie Gleason pushes the button and my dress comes off? I have that painting in my home. Like when the movie was done shooting, I asked the producers, I go, can I just take the painting? And they let me, so I have that painting.
You know what? If you had multiples, you like keep one at home and auction one for like $1 gajillion.
A gajillion dollars, exactly. Well, name the right price, people, you never know.
So, going back to, because you are absolutely hilarious. And, you have this comedic sense of style. And I kind of remember you were on like this late night show with this other funny person. Like, I don't know. It's like fleeting. I think you.
Johnny Carson?
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy! Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Tell me how. Come on, this guy Johnny Carson is like a comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's block this all out.
No, what happened? My necklace flew around.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all.
I
That's
thought
all
there was
I'm
a
saying.
wardrobe. I was like,
I was gonna say-
no OnlyFans here, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
my necklace. It was only my necklace. Okay, but thank you. Yeah. So Johnny Carson. I have to tell you what's interesting too is Jackie Gleason in the toy. Well, Johnny Carson was a huge Jackie Gleason fan. Johnny Carson idolized Gleason.
Interesting. So
So-
Gleason came before Carson.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting.
And so John and the I did a bunch of different sketches with Johnny, but the one that's probably the most famous is the one where he played Art Fern, and I was playing the matinee lady, the tea time lady, and that sketch, basically Johnny Carson was doing an impression of Jackie Gleason. That's really what he was doing when he would be like, "Boo-hoo." That's Johnny Carson doing Jackie Gleason. So I think me being in the toy made Johnny Carson, you know what I mean? He related me to Jackie Gleason and all like that. So yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all connected.
it's all connected. It's all connected. But the way that I started doing the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson was I did a television series that I was a regular on called Teachers Only.
Dun-dun.
Da-da. No one ever really remembers this series. It starred Lynn Redgrave and Norman Fell and Jean Smart. Jean Smart, who's a huge star right now on Hacks, and she was on Designing Women, and a huge career. Just won the Emmy Award. It doesn't get better than Jean Smart. Jean was also a regular on the series, and in fact, Jean and I shared a dressing room. Anyways, the point of the matter is that series, Teachers Only, was a half-hour sitcom, but it was produced by Carson Productions. So Johnny was the producer of it. And so first he had Lynn Redgrave come out and as a guest on The Tonight Show to promote the show. He naturally, because since he was the producer of the sitcom, he wanted that show to be promoted. Yeah. And then he asked me to come on the show to promote it, so I showed a clip and talked to him and all like that. So then in 13 weeks, the series was canceled, but Johnny loved our chemistry together that time that I showed the clip. So the show was canceled, and he asked me to come back on to be a guest again. And I didn't have anything to promote. My series had been canceled, but he said, I don't care. He just thought I was funny. He just liked talking to me. So it was really cool because he had me on several times as a guest, just chit-chatting. And then one time, literally during a commercial break, he said to me, would you like to ever do a sketch with me? And I said, are you kidding me? I would love, I would love it so much. So that's how it started, that I started doing sketches on The Tonight Show with Johnny. And from the first time I did the show till the last time, 10 years went by that I was, on again, off again, doing the show. And Johnny was really nice because he also said to me, look, even though I want you to do sketches with me, if ever you have something you want to promote and you want to be a guest, let us know. And he really kept to that promise too, so that I would do a sketch and then I'd come out at the end of the show if I had something I wanted to talk about. So, Johnny Carson, boy, am I grateful to him. He really treated me well. And also, I did the last 10 years of the show. But Johnny had already been doing the show for 20 years before I got there. And what I observed with him was something really neat. His enthusiasm when he would do a sketch, his joy. Like usually if you've been doing a job for over 20 years, you could kind of be bored of it.
Stale.
You get stale. Yeah. And Johnny, you could see, he was like, I mean this as a compliment, he was like a little kid. Like, oh my God, I'm going to put on the mustache and the funny outfit. And
it's time to cosplay.
Exactly. It was like, I went, wow, that's so neat to have that childlike enthusiasm for all those years.
You should be talking.
Yeah, it's true.
And I feel like, that's the beautiful thing, because I will not lie, I am a geek. And I have the geek tattoos to prove it. And I feel that, like us, like you're a comedic geek, like you love it. And I believe Johnny Carson was a comedic geek. Like, we're passionate. When you're a geek, you're passionate about things. And when you're passionate about comedy and such, that's a great thing. And I feel like now that we're adults, we're just grown-up kids. So it's like, ooh, I'm still the same way, but now I have the money to get what I want.
That's great. That's great. Yes.
And it's so true.
Yes.
And it's like, oh yeah, I wanted that toy. You know what? I'm going to get the limited edition toy, put it in a vacuum seal, and I'm going to mount it on my trophy case. Yeah, that's me from my age now compared to 5 years old. So yeah, there's a difference. But talking about childhood, you went from live action to doing some voiceover stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
And you voiced a certain person named Colleen in a show produced by Nickelodeon called Rugrats. Yes. So, talk to us about the Rugrats. Come on.
Well, listen, I got to tell you once again, it was like I loved watching the Rugrats, and so many of these jobs in my life where I'd be like, oh my goodness, because I am the comedy geek, I am the fangirl. So then when you get to do these shows, it's just so much fun. and animation, animation is just so great. It's so playful. It's really stress free. I mean, it's your it's all about the voice, and you know, it's easy to get uptight about your appearance or whatnot, and when you're just, you know, oftentimes you get to see the drawing of your character, and then you're just infusing it with your energy and your voice. It's super fun. I did a lot of the Disney Pixar movies too, ADR, where you just play like the little small background characters.
I know. I spotted the Wall-E. I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, all those Wall-E.
I was on IMDb.
Yeah, all those shows. Let's see, Wall-E, Up, Toy Story 3. About Monsters Incorporated. So many of those movies, and boy, is that is so fun, because they bring in a group of about, it varies, but I'd say about 15 actors, and you're in a big sound stage, and they show part of the film in different stages of how it's done. So sometimes you could get there and literally the drawings are really in the beginning stages and they're in black and white. They're not even colored yet. Yeah, or sometimes it could be really soon, really close to when they're going to premiere the movie, and they need different voices and different background things. So the director might say, okay, Teresa, see that monster crossing the street that almost gets hit by the car? Go up to the mic and scream. So I'm watching on screen like a little monster in the background crossing the street, and I walk up, Wah! You know, and it's all sort of improv. Sometimes they ask you to just improv dialogue, little screams, reactions. It's really fun, and you also have to do a little homework about the world that you're in. If you're in the world of monsters, you're going to talk like a monster. If you're in the world of cars, you're going to think in terms of cars and engines and what do cars say, and what if I was a talking car, would I be talking about, oh, I need a tune-up, you know, whatever. You have to sort of make your mind go into that world. It's it's interesting. Certainly they hire very talented voiceover people, but they also hire people that are also good at improv, because they want you to like you. So yeah, boy, that's a real fun niche of show business, voiceover. Boy, is that fun.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I forgot. Real Yoda, I forgot your question. I'm going to ask it right now.
Yeah.
So the question is, what was your favorite scene to do in the toy?
Good.
While she's waiting.
I'll tell you what. When the rain came down, in the dining room, all of a sudden the water bursts, and it's like getting a pie in the face. Only, you know, we got soaked. That was fun.
But you see, at least getting a pie in the face, like, you wipe it off, it's sticky, then you gotta dip the water. But if it's water, you're just like, okay, next wardrobe, and you're fine.
Yeah.
So I would take that, you know, just throw in a bar of soap, just like, all right, I had a long day on set, let's go, let's just get 2 in 1, you know, type of situation. But let's go to talking about the toy. Man, I love these segues. The next goes to Dean Stibbs.
Yes.
And that's an amazing. Look at this shot.
That's a beautiful picture.
Ladies and gentlemen, she looks exactly the same.
Oh boy, this is a good day.
Yeah.
This is a good day. So what am I going to write to Dean?
And no instructions, just anything you want.
Okay. To Dean.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. If those aren't the lyrics, just don't worry about it then. I won't get copyright struck.
I'm gonna say to Dean with love. I'll do it again.
Oh snap. Dean, you got the love from Teresa. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, go to streamly.com/Teresa Ganzel to get your fantastic prints. Shazam.
Nice.
Real Yoda's laughing. Real Yoda's happy. And Dean, look at you.
Yeah.
Gotta see that. Oh, looking good, looking good. Now, we were still talking about the voiceover realm, right? You talked about your Disney stuff. Great. You talked about what's it called? Rugrats. Great. You happen to be in this monster. You were talking about monsters in this amazing Nick show that you were Smildren from Real Monsters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see, she even forgot.
I do. I really
You even
do.
forgot.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, you were on Real Monsters. I'm like, that was a show that was so awkward as a kid, but you're like, I could dig it. I dig this show. It's weird. There's eyes in somebody's hands, but you're like, I could dig it. So I was like, how is it working with, because I assumed that you worked for Our Real Monsters before Rugrats, or is it the opposite way?
I do not remember. I don't remember.
Because I think it was Rugrats first, because Our Real Monsters came out in 95, 96, and Rugrats was 92, 93. Because it came out the same year, about the same year or two, where Power Rangers came out, and Power Rangers came out around 92 as well. Yeah, I'm aging myself, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but you're an animation historian.
No, I'm not.
Good.
These are the cartoons I grew up with.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That Big Bad Beetleborgs, Freakazoid, all these things. This is what I grew up with.
Yeah.
So it's like I started school in 1990, so I was 5 years old. So from there, I know exactly what years the things come out. Cause like no, that was first grade. Nope, that was third grade. So that was 7. So I was 93. Bam, right there. So that's how I coincide.
Yeah, yes, but yeah, that really proves how important when you're a kid those shows are. I mean, that you would know that's first grade, that's third grade, absolutely, yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
how was it being on Our Real Monsters?
Listen, I can't honestly. I don't remember a specific story. I'm sorry to say, but the thing is just I just remember any time I did a guest star on any of these animated shows, the vibe was always just fun. Because actually when you do a guest spot on a sitcom, sometimes it's not a happy set. I mean, it just isn't. You know, you could have a problematic star, you can have whatever, and sometimes the vibe is tense. I never had that experience on any animated show. It's always like everybody just seems chill.
But who would have a problem with you?
Nobody.
Exactly. And that's why you go to streaming.com/Teresa Ganzel to get your fantastic prints. And don't forget, the store is open now. And now I'm just trying to find. I'm trying to use my improv skills to try to find another segue. I'm like, what segues do we have? Oh yes, because you're doing voiceover and you were doing your animated stuff. Apparently, I found out that you entered the realm of video games as well.
Yeah. Listen, boy, shame on me. I do not play video games. I do not know the world of video games. It is wrong of me. It's just, I know it's the biggest, most giantest business in the world. I don't know, but I will tell you this. Oh my goodness, that can be rough on your voice because some of the characters are so extreme, and that you play multiple characters, and you've really got to protect your voice if you're doing games. I mean, it's an exhausting thing on your voice.
I can absolutely tell, because I know that from your credits, you played very big character Thana Rumblehoof from EverQuest 2.
I didn't even remember the character's name. That's impressive. You're good. Yeah, that's
Ladies and gentlemen,
good.
this is why we're here at Streamly. We make sure that we know exactly what fantastic things our talent has done. And you guys know too. And by the way, thank you, Real Yoda, because Rugrats was year 91 and Our Real Monsters was 94. So thank you for that.
Wow.
See,
That's,
we got the
really
fans doing
good.
some
let me
checks
read,
right here.
Yeah.
Right here. It's like it came out in 94 versus was 91. I'm like,
Excellent.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But so your experience, like doing the video games, you say that it was rough on your throat, but like, I would assume that a script for a video game would be a little bit longer and more exhausting than being on live action and just being in a regular animation. So out of the three mediums of live action, animation voiceover, and video game voiceover, which would you say overall?
Live action.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
You gotta see that beautiful smile, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
King. Did you not hear the king right there? If you guys didn't hear the king, you gotta update your sound pack so the king could come in here. It's an update. It's a patch, so worry about it. But why live action?
You know, I don't know. I guess it's just fun to like put on costumes and stuff. That there's something about. I mean, animation is so fun. Like I said, it's more chill. People don't get as uptight, and yet there's something about, being with another actor, two human beings, live, a full body.
Yeah.
That's number one. But too, one thing that you may not know is that for many years I did a lot of radio too, a lot of radio commercials, I should say. Tons and tons of radio. Most of that work went non-union now. I don't do non-union stuff, whatever. So,
she gets the big bucks.
I get the big, So, but radio commercials too. I have to say that whole phase of my life, I really enjoyed too. So even sometimes when I, talk to younger actors and everything, I say, get involved in voiceover in whatever capacity, animation or radio. It's just it's a great way to go. I do miss the old days because it was all done in person, even. And the radio commercials and everything, you went to a studio to do it, as opposed to now where people are auditioning, myself included, from your home, and even jobs are sometimes often usually from your. I miss, again, like you were asking, do you live action, or I like live actions. I want to be in a room with another human being, and voiceover work has become. It was already going in that direction before the pandemic, but with the pandemic, it really sealed the deal where it's more isolated now. And I miss being with you. Yes, exactly. That's
Come
what
on.
I like. Yeah.
And this is why we love having our talent coming into the studio, because it feels there's a difference between signing at home through your social media. It's amazing experience, but being here with the stream in the streaming studio with the streaming staff. We're just excited to have you guys here, and then all of a sudden you guys feed off of that excitement. Then you feed off the fans, or like they see your excitement, and then it's just so much of a better experience overall.
Completely agree. Yep. Yes.
And that's why we tell everybody, don't forget to go to streamy.com/Teresa Ganzel to get your prints. See, I gotta do that. Just got a little segue and do that. And with that segue, we're going to Todd with another print from the toy.
Beautiful.
And this one actually has instructions that says,
okay, good.
Please write that U.S.
Oh, I know what it is. That's U.S., not U.S., and add fancy beneath your signature. Thanks. Yes. Okay, so in the movie, my husband's name is U.S., but because I have a southern accent, I say U.S. And I do have to tell you this. When I read the script before we started working, right away, I thought I knew that was the joke. Like, that's good. That's the joke, that whenever I say U.S., it's going to sound like U.S. What's interesting, the writer of the script never thought that. Neither did the cast, neither did the director. So the very first day of work was just a table read-through where we all sat around a table and read the script. So when I came to the first time I said U.S. and I said U.S., everybody just cracked up laughing, like, oh my God. And I was sort of shocked, like, well, duh,
do my job.
Like that's the joke. And so no, I think that whole thing of the U.S. thing is, that's a good choice to ask me to put on the paper. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to do this right.
No problem.
Okay. I'm going to do it so it shows up good. That's U.S.
right.
I'm going to do it in quotes. Like I want to make sure I give it to Todd Wright.
There you go.
And fancy. Beneath your signature. Fancy.
She is fancy, ladies and gentlemen. She is
Yes.
super fancy.
That's great.
Look at
Okay. Listen, I hope that's right, Todd. Do you want me to put your name on there? If you can hear me, I'll put your name if you want. Otherwise, I'm just doing what you asked. That's you asked, not you asked. And add fancy beneath your signature. Okay, you got it.
There you go.
All right. Excellent, Todd.
I think you could put two Todd.
Yeah, I'll do
two
it.
Todd, two
okay.
Todd, yeah.
And with 2 D's. Okay, just wanted to make sure. 2.
Yeah, it would be Todd, not Toad.
Yeah.
Two Toad.
Perfect.
There
There
you
you go.
go.
That's better.
All right. All right, we have another question. Oh, real Yoda. Fancy. Super fancy. She's like,
Fancy, I'm
she's
fancy.
like fancy level 9,000, right? Look at her. Like,
Fancy.
ladies and gentlemen, we need to get you cast on like Real Housewives.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what? I'm my own housewife. Like, I'll show my own money, and then it'll be like my husband will just be in the background, be like, that's the house husband. All right, that's the house.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because you are looking absolutely fabulous.
Thank you.
You guys did not see the behind the scenes when she came in here, but she came in here just like it was like that meme from like Mario Kart when you see Luigi like just like drifting. She just came in like, shh, what's up? Like literally in slow motion, like, hey, I'm parking right now, and then just comes into the spot, gets out like, how you doing? I'm Teresa. I was like, okay, that's that. Drift, okay, that's cool. But no, seriously, you came in like literally like a superstar, and you are a superstar, so that's awesome. We have Real Yoda. Real Yoda had another question: what was your favorite experience working in the pyramid?
Okay, let me tell you what.
Uh-oh.
I loved doing that game show so much. No, you don't understand. Like, I had no idea how competitive I was until I started doing that game show. And here's the thing too, is that, we shot all 5 days, the whole week in one day. So, like, if you had a cold or something, you know how, like, when you have a cold, you're, like, kind of stupid? You know what I mean?
You're, like, foggy-headed, yeah.
So it's like, oh, my God, you didn't want to get a cold or anything because you would look stupid for a whole week, even though it was only one morning, you know what I mean? Like, so I remember, like, the day before, like, the weeks before I would know that I was doing that show, I would feel like I was in training, like, okay, get plenty of sleep, do everything, because you want to be great on that game show because you're winning people money. You could actually change somebody's life. I mean, like back then too, several times I did the $100,000 one where you go, wow, that's like actually life changing. I and also I'll be honest with you, like if I go to someone's house and we're playing charades or something, I get very competitive with that too. So I like playing games. I just love playing games. So there's that.
Listen, you're one of those people that I don't play games to play. I play them to win.
Exactly.
Listen, I have had friends that don't like me very much because I like to go a little harder at board games. It's not my fault.
Yes.
It's listen. If you want to play a board game for activity, that's great. I'm gonna beat you at it though.
Yes.
That's what's my thing.
Yes. When I watch even like shows like Survivor or whatnot, and sometimes some of the members, some of the contestants say, I didn't come here to win. I came here to make new friends. And I think, but no.
Go to a meetup.
Yes.
Get a dog. Like,
yes.
you came on Survivor for friends?
No.
You're wasting my time. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, get off the island.
Get off the island.
Like, I'd rather do it, and I know I'm in no shape to do it, but hey, at least I'll try. I'll be in last place, but I'll try.
That's right.
It's a sad
Play to
world.
win. Play to win or don't play.
Oh no, but nowadays we have participation trophies. We don't need to play to win. We could play to play. See, back in the days, ladies and gentlemen, we used to have to put quarters in our arcade machines, and guess what? When you got a game over, you better put a quarter in, or you don't play. You got to be good to win the game. Now it's just like, oh, I lost the game. I'll just press restart. You got save files? Back in our day, we didn't have save files. You either play the game straight or you lost. Okay, back in our day.
Do you do stand-up comedy? Because if you do, I'll come watch it.
I started one time, but we're gonna improv on this.
Oh yeah.
Back in our day.
Yeah.
Okay.
In our day.
You guys.
I just got 35 years younger, but good. I like it.
You know, like back in our day, I had to call someone before 9 p.m. and say, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Such and Such. Can I speak to such and such, please?" And the words, please and thank you, had to come in there. Back in our day.
I listen. You
gotta give your all back in our day. Go for it.
Back in our day, you know, you just couldn't. I don't want to do this.
She's like, listen, I am not trying to do back in my day. I'll do back in your day.
You're great.
But talk about back in our day, the segue for this fantastic
good.
print. Look at you.
Isn't that cute?
Look at
That
that.
is so cute. That's so adorable.
I just feel like there should be some Tommy guns and all of a sudden be like, hey, see? What you looking on now? Hey, see?
Yeah. That was that movie. That movie really holds up. My favorite year. It's who asked me this? James. Hey, James. I have to tell you what. That movie is a classic film. Joe Bologna. He passed away recently. Joe Bologna and Renee Taylor. I don't know if all of you know this. You should. But they were a married couple, and they were wildly successful writers. They wrote so many great plays, and some of those plays became movies. And Joe was so great. And so, in my favorite year, it was sort of like what I ended up doing after years later on the Tonight Show. Whenever they did sketches in the movie, I was the sketch girl. So this was a movie that was about Your Show of Shows, the Sid Caesar show. Sort of it was based on that, basically, and the writers that worked on the Sid Caesar show. This is a classic movie. It starred Peter O'Toole, and it was an A picture. It was so well done, and Richard Benjamin was the director. It was really, if you haven't seen My Favorite Year, you really should watch it. It's a classic movie, and it really holds up. And it was very exciting set to be on. I was on the set for like 2 weeks, and Mel Brooks, his company, were behind it, producing it, and it's a really. And I love this picture. I just love this picture. It was such a great movie. I'm proud that my part was small in this movie, but I'm proud of it. I really am. It was a good movie. Yeah,
I see you looking at that picture with reverence. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it really was a neat experience. And boy, I remember the first time seeing Peter O'Toole just coming out of his trailer. He was a movie star. What I mean is, you could like see his aura. Like you could he had charisma, and his eyes. He had the most beautiful eyes, and you just were like, oh, that's a movie star. You know, it was just, he was magnificent. Wow. Yeah. So, you know, and then and what was he playing in the movie? He was playing a movie star. And you go, yeah, you can't cast a movie star better than Peter O'Toole. You know, it was great, really great. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, boy.
And you, as you said, it was an A movie that had A talent in there.
Yes, it really was you could just tell from the moment you were on that set. Richard Benjamin was such a classy A director, and really, it was just beautifully done, a beautifully done film.
And you should know this, that there are no such things as small parts in Hollywood, but just small actors.
Yes, I will take that.
Because for the simple reason that the way that you're looking at that picture, it means so much to you.
Yes.
That's not a small part.
You're right, because, I was real. Oh, and I will tell you this. I had I had a line where all I was supposed to say was bourbon. And I was so like wanted to do such a good job. So when it came time to do my line, I yelled out, bourbon! Like, well, the crew guys thought this was the funniest thing in the world. So for the remaining 2 weeks or whatever that I was on the picture, I would hear the crew guys whenever the director would call cut, they just kept yelling for their own fun, bourbon, bourbon, bourbon. They just loved doing it. They just loved saying my
Or they just wanted a drink.
They just loved it. And in fact, Joe Bologna, I ended up having the same manager as Joe. So Joe ended up being in my life, he and his wife, and he just nicknamed me Bourbon. I mean, that was just his nickname for me for years afterwards. So yeah, it was cool. That was a neat. So
awesome.
James, I appreciate that you chose this. So I'm assuming you're a fan of this movie. You have very good taste because this is a great movie. So I'm going to assign this to James.
To James. Do you want the silver marker?
Oh yeah, you're right. That will be better. Okay.
Let me make sure. Yep, we're
Yeah,
good
put
to
it
go
up
for
there,
that.
right? Don't you think? Yeah.
You could either put it up here
there,
or put it up
there.
here.
Oh yeah,
Either way.
maybe you're right. Maybe it's better down here.
Yeah, that's why I like.
Yeah, okay.
Give you the gray one just to make sure it looks all nice and whatnot. Ooh, well, silver. I said gray.
Oh, I like it. You did. That's the good choice to James.
To James.
All the best.
And yes, Real Yoda, we all miss the 80s arcades. And no, I was not old enough to go to Studio 51. 54.
Yeah.
50. I'm like, yeah, we all know you're not that age because you got the number wrong, genius. It was 54, not 51.
But speaking about more like that era, I'm watching a TV show right now. I'm loving it so much called The Offer. It's about the making of The Godfather. It's so good. It's so good. And it reminded me of that the other day because they had a little scene that took place at like Studio 54, and I was like, wow. I didn't even get to Studio 54. Yeah, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's trying to keep up her squeaky clean image. She was at Studio 54 like every weekend. She had the balcony. She had her own table. Yeah, be like, no. Excuse me.
No.
Who are you? You can't enter the T zone.
No, that's just. I probably would have been there, but I was an LA girl, so I wasn't really in New York. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't really ever work in New York. The only time I worked in New York is, I guess it was about a dozen years ago. I was doing a play in New York. I had so much fun. I got to live there for a whole summer for like 3-4 months. I was doing a play. The name of the play was Viagra Falls.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that. We're gonna be tossed off. No way.
Yeah, it was a comedy, and it was so much fun. It was like me and two guys. It was a 3-character play, and we did it off Broadway, but a beautiful theater off Broadway. The Schubert Theater was a 499-seat theater, gorgeous theater, and boy, that was the only time I ever really worked in New York, and boy, did I have a good time. Like after doing that, I go, wow, if ever another show, a stage play happened that I could do in New York, I would do it in a heartbeat. I loved spending a summer in New York. Loved it.
New York is fun.
Yeah, fun.
Except for the humidity and the trash and the pee and the puppy dog-sized rats.
Yeah.
And the homeless.
Yeah.
And the stabbings. And the shoot. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, but New York it's my hometown, so it's a great.
Oh, it is your home.
Yeah, I'm
Good
born
for
and
you.
raised there, so
Good for
so
you.
that's why I'm just jabbing at it, but it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has been a pleasure and an honor having you here.
I had so much fun. I loved doing this. This was so great.
Yes.
The reason why is because of you.
Oh no, the reason why is
no.
because you're like this ball of awesomeness wrapped up in a box of amazingness, tied up with a bow of spectacular, dude.
I love it. I
So,
love it.
ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be closing off and signing off today. But before we sign off, please tell us any upcoming projects that you have going on and close off with your social media.
Oh, yes. Okay, so in, I think, 2 weeks, I have a really funny guest star role on a TV show called Side Hustle.
Oh, snap.
It's I don't want to give away too much, but I'm telling you what, my character is really funny, and the producers sent me the whole episode, so I could already watched it, and I'm really, really proud of it. So watch Side Hustle. I think it's like airing like June 12th. I should have done my homework so I could tell you, but look up Side Hustle. The name of my episode is We Have a Bingo. We have a bingo, and I'm proud of it because even though it's more for kids, the show, I'm proud for any adult to watch it too. It's hilarious. It's really, really. So that's coming out in a couple weeks. Awesome. And yes, social media, Instagram at Teresa Ganzel.
At where? One more time?
Yes, at Teresa Ganzel. So TeresaGanzel. At Teresa Ganzel, just like my name. And Twitter, La Ganzel, LAGANZE, 2 L's, La Ganzel. I added an extra L on there.
To be fancy.
To be fancy. To be fancy. And so you got La Ganzel, you got at Teresa Ganzel, and there you have it. So yeah, oh boy. Good talking to you all.
Yes, and once again, my name is Rob Fury. I am the talent relations specialist here at Streamly. You could go to @streamly.live to catch us and catch any of the new talent that we're going to be having up on the platform. So with that, Teresa, one great line from any of your projects that you would like to close off with.
Okay, I'll say from Three's Company. When Larry said you wanted a date with me, I became very excited.
And we got excited. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Have a great day.